Hi everyone. Today I will talk with you about very special cultural phenomenon in the Arab countries which belongs just only Ramadan. In the evening of Ramadan, every evening of Ramadan, what we call it Mesaharati. Mesaharati is a person who walks around streets at night to wake people up for pre-dawn meal before starting their daily fast. And this phenomenon became famous all over the Arab countries, as I told you. And every country has their own way of Mesaharati. And Mesaharati, when he walks around streets, beating a drum to wake people up, and this way was very strange for many foreigners when they hear it like this way, but for us we love very much to hear it, and we are waiting every year to watch El Musaharati and see exactly what he say, and a lot of things I will explain to you about it. And of course he influenced our theatrical folk dance, but in some of the dance groups, not only all. So this is exactly the main point of El Musaharati, what I love very much to share with you. The story of El Musaharati in Egypt began 12 centuries ago, around 853 AD. During the rule of Abbasid era, one of the rulers, Isaac ibn Okba, was walking in the streets in Cairo from El Asakir city in El Fustat to Amr ibn al-As mosque, and wake people up at night for their pre-dawn meal, as I told you. And it was this way like this, his way like this, every evening in Ramadan or during the night in Ramadan. Of course, he makes some loud sometimes, or say some words or some lyrics, and sometimes knock the doors to wake people up, something like this. So this is exactly the beginning of El Masaharati in Egypt from this time, 12 centuries ago. And step by step or later they used, or El Masaharati used something to make much more loud or loudness with the drum, and step by step change it to be a music, or sometimes yes also songs or something like this. But from this way, which it begins like this way, we spread it everywhere all over the Arab countries. The musical instrument used in El Masaharati is vary from country to country, but the drum is the commonly instrument or tradition used in this type of artwork, as we know. But there are many other musical instruments also they use that, or they use it in the other countries, or in many countries, such as the rabab, the many types of the rabuka, by the way, and sometimes flute, yes, also depends on the country and their culture. And this way we will see together, or I will let you see together, how it is difference or the fire between all of these countries. But also through their walk in the street, or through his walk in the street, sometimes he walk with some band with him, and sometimes he walk alone. It depends on the culture of every country. And this way became much more famous since long time, not only these days, but nowadays we change it, or there are something changed because of the way the people now, their life also changed. I mean, in the past, people were going to sleep very early or going to bed very early than today. For this reason, they need someone to wake them up for the pre-dawn meal. And this way was still until now. Of course, we wake up. If we sleep early, we wake up also to take our pre-dawn meal. But not all of us, I mean, not all the Arabian people or Egyptian people going to sleep early. We stay in front of the TV or sit together talking and say some jokes, and sometimes say some stories or what had happened with us all the whole day. And we sit together like this until the time before the dawn, and we go to eat or to take our suhoor. And by the way, this suhoor, this word exactly born for us the Mesaharati. So the Mesaharati word born from el suhoor, and suhoor, it means or it comes from sahar, and sahar exactly this word, the time before the dawn, not the dawn, the time before the dawn. So this is exactly the meaning of this word in the Arabic language. Anyway, we sit together, as I told you, talking about a lot of things, what had happened with us during the day, or what we will do next day in the morning when we wake up, or later at noon, or whatever, something like that. And then we're going to, after that, to take our, or to eat, to take our meals, which it means the pre-dawn meal. Of course, El Musaharati move around or walks around and make a loud voice, which it is a traditional way until now. We have it, and he say some songs, and there were some nice or funny stories had happened with me, with my friends when we were children, play together in the street and waiting for El Musaharati. In the past, El Mesaharati must be one, or must be a person from the area. He will wake their people up, or its people up. Why? Because he must know the families, and he know everyone in the families. Why? I will tell you. Yes, exactly. But now, of course, it is not same as before. Sometimes we can find El Musaharati a strange person not from the area, but he knows someone sometimes, and I will tell you why. This is the funniest story what I love to share with you too. When we were in the street long ago, children in the street long ago play and waiting for El Musaharati. When he come, he say some songs and let people know exactly the time of dawn meal, and this is the good things for God and for our Islam, and so and so and so. And sometimes he mentioned people by their names, just to tell them wake up, such as, for example, hey man, wake up, hey woman, wake up, and so on and so on, by their names. The most important point is, we as a children, we love very much to play. And of course, you know also that Egypt have Muslims and Christian live together. So the funniest point is when we give him some names and ask him to let them wake up, or to ask them for wake up. This is normal with the Muslims, no problem in this, but we give him the name with the nickname, and the nickname must be funny name to let all of us laugh, and old people, when they hearing this, they laugh. I still remember when we gave him some funny names like these names, and he say that Mr. Blah 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 with a funny name, and wake up and go take your breakdown meal and something like that, and we laugh. What do you think if we give him also sometimes some Christian names for our neighbors, and we give him the name of them, and suddenly he say their names with their funny also way, and we going to laugh and do all of this funny points. By the way, one of his lyrics, he talking about the pilgrimage, and suddenly Mr. George or Mrs. Christine, when he say something like that, Mr. George or Mrs. Christine going every year for pilgrimage in Mecca, and he know that it is lyrics. He say it like this way, and we go laugh because, of course, we know they are Christian, and they laugh also with us. They know exactly that this is a funny point what we are doing in the streets to play with them and something like this. This is exactly I love to share with you about, or the funny point I love to tell you, to share with you about El Mesaharati long ago. Now I didn't see people do something like that, or maybe life changed, but in the past was something like this, and we were waiting for him and give him some money to do something like that. And sometimes stay with us for a short time, not long time, of course, because he has to walk around, not only in one area. So sometimes we give him much more money to stay little bit or short time, much more time with us to say many words about the funny names or nicknames for our friends and something like this. This type of phenomenon influenced, or let me say inspired, some choreographers to do something, or a choreography on the stage, such as Mahmoud Rida. When he created El Mesaharati character on the stage, but he did it since long time, or he created since long time, and they didn't renew it, or we didn't do it once more again in a new way or something like that. I don't know why. But the other groups, dance groups, created some choreographies about El Mesaharati too. The main point is the rhythm which we will dance on. So in some Arab countries such as Lebanon, Palestine, and also in Turkey, you can find it is rich, but in Egypt it is like this way exactly, a little way, or let me say that it is not a complete rhythm, which we can create much more dance steps on it. So for this reason, it could be in the Arab countries or in Lebanon, for example, they can do something on it much more than us. I didn't see any group of them created any dance on or choreography on El Mesaharati character as much as I found it with Rida Troop when he created this way of El Mesaharati inside the choreography of dancers, I mean children dancing in the street, playing with lamps, I mean Ramadan lamps, and waiting for Al Mesaharati to wake their families up, and then they go play once more again and go upstairs to take their pre-dawn meal. This is the way of Al Mesaharati on the stage, as Mahmoud Rida created like this way. As I told you, yes, also the other groups, I mean dance groups, some of them created, yes, also this character, but it doesn't be famous same as, or was not became famous same as Al Mesaharati of Mahmoud Rida long ago. But what is the strange point is Rida Troop didn't play this choreography once more again, or many or several times later. I don't know why, and I never asked about it. Suddenly, I found it a few years ago, and I start to study it, or to know exactly why, and to find exactly or to understand exactly the way they were doing. I mean, the old groups, the way they were doing this on the stage, to understand exactly how it was looks like, and what is the meaning of it, what Mahmoud Rida created, and how he was thinking of it. Because even I didn't talk with him about it, or why he created something like that, and why also he didn't renew it or let us dance it later. But anyway, the other groups, of course, as I told you, they created like this way, and I think it was close to Mahmoud Reda's choreography, and that's it about it. But no one created a complete choreography about El Mesaharati. On the other hand, maybe because El Mesaharati is type of pantomime, we can use it in a pantomime way, or a mime way, not as a type of dance as it is. By the way, El Mesaharati, it is a male type of work or tradition or cultural tradition, not female. But suddenly I found some countries, I heard about some Arabian countries have female Mesaharati, which it is very strange, of course, because the female voice is strange when I hear it in the street for me, because I know exactly, or inside my body, my mind, I feel that Mesaharati must be a man with his voice, singing in the streets, play or beating drum, and do some words or little bit movements with onto the words, onto the rhythm, something like this. But with female, strange for me. I didn't see, but I just only heard, and this is I love also to share with you, to tell you, if you have any video about female Mesaharati female, please send it to me, or let us talk about it, because I don't know, maybe we can find, maybe we have. This is about El Mesaharati, and another point is El Mesaharati, by this way of singing and beating drum, it comes from Egypt. It was not the way all over the Arab countries by this way. In the Arab countries, just only long ago, just only a man or a person walks in the street, just with loud voice, wake people up, something like this, but not by this way of El Mesaharati in Egypt. So the Egyptian mentality or the Egyptian culture influenced the Arabian countries when we exported this El Mesaharati phenomenon to them and let them do same as us. But every country, as I told you, using El Mesaharati by their own way and by their way of drum, to play on a drum or to beating the drum. This was my video for today for El Mesaharati, which I hope you like it, of course. And I'll be waiting for your questions if you have any questions, and your comments. Write me down too if you have any comments or any question about it. Thank you very much, and see you in my next video.